Hey everyone, it's Linda from Linda's Paper Garden, and I hope you're having a good day today. I have done a very pretty but simple sympathy card, and I wanted to show you how I done it. I'm using the Mosey Meadows green paper cardstock, and I'm using the True Vanilla cardstock, and some pearls that I had, and this is a 5x7 card. So let me show you what you're going to need to make this card. Okay, let me bring it in. You are going to need a stamp that says "With Sympathy." I'm going to use my ink, Mosey Meadows Ink stamp pad. I die cutted a sentiment design that I'm going to put "With Sympathy" on. I die cutted out some leaves that I'm going to use. I'm using from the Crafter Square pearls. I had left over from my previous card, the cardstock, the Mosey Meadow cardstock, so I'll have enough to do this card also. And then 8.5 by 11 True Vanilla that you're going to use for the base of your card. So let's get started. Let me just set everything out of the way here, and let's just get started. So what we're going to do first is we are going to do the base of our card, and for the base of our card, since it's the 5x7, we will need a 10x7 sheet of cardstock. So let's go ahead and cut that down, trim that down. Okay, we'll need 10. Lay that aside. We'll use that by 7. Okay. Lay that aside. And that's the base of our card. Now, since this is the only thing that we're going to have to score, I'm going to go ahead and score it on my trimmer. Okay. And I'm going to score it at 5. Do that a few times. Did my trim? Did it? Yeah, it scored. Alrighty. Set that aside. Let's go ahead and fold and varnish our card. Guys, I have ink on my hands, so just look over that. Okay. Now, we will set that aside just for a minute. Let's bring in our mossy green paper, and I'm going to cut this down, this mossy green down to 4 3/4. I thought I had it cut down good, but I don't. Okay. Alrighty. By 6 3/4. Okay. Since our card is 5x7. Okay, and there we go. That's going to be our card. And we can go, and I'm going to, I did not on this one, but I think I am on this one. I think I'm going to raise the whole mossy green pad up. I think I want a little bit of dimension on that. So let's go ahead and bring in our roll dimensional foam tape. Okay, we will simply cut that off, and then put some on this side. I just think it'll look good. guys. Bringing it up a little bit. Okay, let's turn it around. I'm working on a project that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And I'm working on getting everything prepared for it. But we're going to do a baby book out of the pattern shape of a little girl's dress. And I'm working on getting everything prepared for it. That way when we start putting it together, I'll have everything ready. And it may take a couple, 3 tutorials to put it all together, because it is a project. It's a fairly large project that I'm working on to show you all. Alrighty, let's go ahead and strip off our backing. I'm going to show you guys something that I do sometimes. I'm not going to strip all that off, but I am going to come over here and I'm going to, hopefully, I did. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to simply pull this back and then pull the rest of my backing off. Turn it around that way, maybe you can see it better. That way, since this is foam, I wanted to make sure I got it on there straight before I put everything down. And that's just a little trick I learned by trial and error of getting things crooked. I learned to do that, especially if I'm using tape. Okay, there we go. Now, let's get all this mess out of the way. And let's go ahead and bring in and let's wallpaper that down. So that way we've got it stick really good on both sides. And now you can see I have just a little bit of rise in that, and I think that's going to make the card look pretty. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to take this strip that we had left over and I want to reduce it down to a half an inch. A half an inch by 6 3/4, or 6 3/4 by half an inch. Now again, guys, I will have these measurements on my channel down in the description box, so you don't have to worry about writing them down. But let's go ahead, set that aside, and let's cut this down to 6 3/4 by a half an inch, and we want 2 of those, okay? Because we can put one on either side. Okay, there's one piece, and I think this might be the other half, because I think that was an inch wide. It was, so we don't have to just cut that in 2. All right, while I have that out, while I have my trimmer out, let's go ahead and cut for this strip right here. And for that strip, we need 6 3/4 by a 1/4. Let's get that even. So 6 3/4 by 1/4, and we'll need 2 of those. I did that slowly because I was going up and not down, and I didn't want my paper to move. Okay, so we'll put our trimmer back up and bring in our card. Okay, now I want to raise my vanilla up. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put down my mossy green stripe, just like that in the center. Okay, so let's bring in some glue. And we're going to make one strip down, because this will flatten out. Okay, now let's bring it in. And let's lay it down, getting it centered on our vanilla. Okay, now we'll let that dry, and while we're letting that dry, we'll do the other one. Just get us some glue. Glue it down, and then place it on our vanilla, getting it centered. Okay. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and pick up the first one, and let's put a roll just right down the center of foam tape. Okay, we'll cut it, and we will do the next one. I'm not going all the way to the edge, guys. If you can see that, I've come just below the edge. Just below the edge. Okay. Now, bring in our card. And I'm just going to eyeball this. And I want to bring it over just about a ½ inch from my card, my mossy green. I'm measuring it by the green and not the vanilla. So just about a ½ inch over. Okay, I'm going to do that on the other side. Come over about a ½ inch. Just get it straight. There we go. Alrighty. Now let me show you something, guys. The difference in this card already. This card is completely flat, but this card has some dimension to it. Okay, so when you stand it up, you're going to see that you have a little bit of dimension, a little bit of 3D going on here, which I like better than just the flat card. So as I make it, I'm learning just like you guys are. Okay, alrighty, now let's bring in the center, which is our green. Alrighty, and we're going to start off, and we're going to place just one of these in the center like that. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut it so I can angle it back to the right side. Okay, so I'm going to place this one to where I think it looks good, and then I'm going to cut this and place it to where I think it's going to look good also. Alrighty, so I'm going to cut it halfway into about right there. And then I'm going to bring this up like that. And that way we've got a movement going on that's not all one way. Because my die cut only goes one way, guys. So if we lay that down, we're going to get like that, and we don't want to do that. We don't want it to look like that. We want it to have a little bit of backwards movement. Okay, so we're going to bring it like that. And that way you have a little bit of movement going up the center there. So let's go ahead and get some glue on this one. Again, I'm going to treat it, as I've said before in my videos, I'm treating it as a lettering. I'm just dabbing here and there, getting just a little bit of glue, not soaking it up, just enough to where it will lay pretty and flat for me. Okay. Now let's turn it. Let me see if I can't just touch it like that. And now let's turn it over and place it down. And if you notice, guys, I am not rubbing it. I'm just tapping down. And every one will not go down. That's the good part about it. Every one will not have glue on it. That'll give us a little bit of movement on our card. Okay, now we're going to bring this one in, and we're going to lay it something like that. Okay, so let's get some glue on it. I think I'm going to use my other ones. Okay, like that. And I'm using glitter glue. I think I try to tell you that in every tutorial that I do. And you can get it from Stampin' Up, where I get a lot of my products from. And you can get it from Amazon. Alrighty, there we go. Now, there's our base of our card. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to set this aside. We are going to bring in our card that we're going to use. And I think I'm going to put it, I had my other one in the center, but I think I'm going to bring it down. I think I'm going to like it better right here. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put that. But before I put it on there, let's go ahead and stamp it. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my mossy green. Ink. Okay, and we're going to center it. Now see what I done, guys? You're just going to have to give me a second and let me make another one of those. So I'm just going to step away and I'll be right back real quickly. I'll be right back over. Alrighty, here we go, guys. This is definitely trash. Now, let's try this again without having sticky fingers. And let's center that. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Close up my ink so I don't get ink all over me. I love these stamping pads. I love the colors. They're beautiful. Okay, so I want to place my Sympathy right here. And I'm going to go ahead and raise that up on dimensionals like I did my card. So I'm going to bring in 2 of my round dimensionals right here and right here, and then I will go ahead and use my roll foam for the sides. Okay, here we go. Now let's go ahead and let's take off our tape or our backing. And we will put this down. Alrighty. A lot of times when you're watching people do tutorials and of this nature, you will find that we are not perfect. We do make mistakes, just like me dropping that ink pad. The ink. Okay guys, now there is our card, but we're going to dress it up just a little bit, and we are going to put some flat pearls on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to pull some of these off, and then I'm going to place them on my card. I'm going to put a pearl here. Okay, I'm going to, I think I want my other scissors. Okay, now that's better. One there. Okay. One maybe right there. Maybe right there. Pick up a couple more. Let's see, let's put one right here. One maybe right here. And then the last one we'll put down here. Alright, I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to take that off. I'm going to try to move that just a little bit. Okay, now let's see if we can put that back on. There, that looks better. Alrighty, so there is our with sympathy, our sympathy card, and I hope you liked it. It was it's fairly simple to make. I don't know if you can see the difference in the video, but this one is a very flat. This one has dimension to it. Okay, so these are our two cards, and they're really pretty, and they're sympathy. And you could use this card if you didn't want to use it for sympathy. You could use this card it'd make a beautiful wedding card. It'd make a really pretty thinking of you card. Whatever you want to use it for. It doesn't have to be sympathy, but I thought it was very relaxing for sympathy. And I had used a little bit more green leafing on this card than I did this one, and I think I like this one better, my personal preference. Okay guys, remember I'll have the dimensions at the bottom in the description box. Please like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment. I love my comments. Let me pull this in so you can see it just a little bit more. Alrighty, there's the card. And let me see if you can see this one now, see if you can see the difference and how flat this one looks compared to this one. This one looks flat and this one doesn't. And it's not because I put it on dimensionals. But like I always say, from my crafting corner to your crafting corner, I hope you've enjoyed this. Leave me a comment and have a wonderful, wonderful day.